So, you want to be a speedrunner? Well, in this episode I'm going to show you how to take that concept into reality. Many of the best speedrunners out there, the ones we spend our time watching videos and live streams on, are all running the games from memory. They've memorized all of the little quirks about a game that they need in order to beat it as quickly as they can. It shouldn't surprise you to know that they didn't magically get to that point without practice, and you should be surprised even less to know that the practice they took was largely wrapped around discovering and documenting their speedrunning route. So, let's talk about routes. First, let's talk about what a route is. Essentially, it's a series of steps needed to get from the start of the game to your ending point of the speedrun. So if you're playing a game to credits, it's all the steps you need to get from new game to you win. Documenting your route starts when you're first discovering the game. Maybe you've seen someone else run through the game before and you plan to copy their path, or maybe you've beaten the game several times and already know a good place to start from your experiences. The first thing you need to do in either case is simple. Play through the game to the end and document all of the steps you took to get there. You can include a timer in your first playthrough, that way you can see how far you'll improve later. The idea here is that you shouldn't base your starting route on anything less than what you already know. So if this is your first playthrough, you're probably going to be writing a very brief version of a walkthrough for the game. Don't stress about this. You don't need to write it in a way that other people understand, because you'll be the only person using it as a starting point. After you've got your first route written, spend some time to review it. Do you see anything you can improve upon? Anything where you wasted time or accomplished something that ended up not being needed to complete your goal? Cut it out or modify it as needed. Then play through the game again while following your newly improved route. How much time did you save? Congrats! You just went through your first iteration. Remember, the time you're trying to beat in speedrunning is your previous attempt, not somebody else's. You're competing against yourself. It's at this point where I'd recommend reviewing other people playing through the game for details that you can add to your route. Modify your route and rinse and repeat the timing. You can eventually start to add splits to your time so you can see which parts of the game you're making progress on individually. This will help you focus on where you can improve your route later. Now, let's review some of the tools you can use to document and update your route. Number 1, Notepad. And as simple as it sounds, Notepad is what a lot of runners use to document their speedrun. They aren't using any fancy software, they are just trying to write down their thoughts and their notes. Number 2, Evernote. I'd consider this a little bit of a step up from Notepad. While you get a little bit more overhead from the Evernote interface, it allows you to pull up your route on a variety of devices without having to move files around. So you can pull up your route on your computer, your buddy's web browser, or your tablet. Number 3, Trello. Trello is designed with teams in mind, but it can be a useful tool if you're going solo as well. You can organize each section of the game into a note on Trello and put all of your experiences in that note to document it. You can also assign teams to the Trello board so a group of members can all work together on refining a single route. Number 4, memory. You'll end up keeping your route in your head. The more you do something, the more ingrained in your memory it will become. This is how you'll be at your quickest. You don't need to reference any tool or note system, you'll just know what you need to do next. This takes a lot of practice though, so don't be in a hurry to get to this point. Like all things, I encourage you to find a system that works for you. These are just suggestions to give you a starting point. If you find out something else works better for you, do that instead. There is no be-all, end-all best practice when it comes to speedrunning. Just make sure you're having fun. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and I hope you put these tips to use in your next speedrun. So tell me, what game are you going to try and speedrun next? If you like this video, like it. If you dislike this video, dislike it. If you've got something more complicated to say, leave a comment. This is Colonel Corn, over and out.